Hey guys, Greg here with LensProToGo, and today we're going to be doing another video on the Panasonic EVA1. We're going to be looking at image recovery. So what we're going to do is over and underexpose the image and then bring it back to proper exposure in post-production. So our camera settings right now are ISO 800 and we're at an f5.6, and this is our proper exposure. Now to get underexposed, we're going to close down the aperture by one stop. And now the camera is at an f8, we're still at 800 ISO, and we are one stop underexposed. This is f11, we're still at 800 ISO, and we are two stops underexposed. This is the camera set at f16, still at 800 ISO, and we are now three stops underexposed. Finally, we're at an f11 with two stops of ND, so it gets us to four stops underexposed, and that's being recovered back to our proper exposure. Okay, so that was our underexposure. Now we're gonna overexpose the image in one-stop increments by opening up the aperture, starting with an f4, which is one stop overexposed and recovered back to our proper exposure. Now we're at an f2.8, and this is two stops overexposed. This is an f2, and we are now three stops overexposed. And this is our widest aperture at f1.4, and that gives us four stops overexposed. So that was all of our ISO 800 tests, but since the Panasonic EVA1 has dual native ISOs, we're also going to check this at 2500 ISO. So this is 2500 ISO at proper exposure. Now we're going to do the same thing and underexpose it in one-stop increments, going from a 5.6 to an f8. Now we're at an f8, still at ISO 2500, and we are one stop underexposed. This is f11, and we are two stops underexposed. This is f16, and we are three stops underexposed. This is f11 with two stops of ND, and now we are four stops underexposed, being recovered back to our proper exposure. So that was our underexposure. Now we're going to overexpose the image again at ISO 2500 in one-stop increments. This is one stop overexposed at an aperture of f4. This is two stops overexposed at an aperture of f2.8. This is an f2.0, and we are three stops overexposed. And finally, we're at an f1.4, which gives us four stops overexposed, and this is being recovered back to our proper exposure. So that's the exposure recovery test of the Panasonic EVA1. If you guys have any questions about it, make sure to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for new videos every week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.